Hey everyone, the Super Vader 400 here, back for another retro review, and this time this is my DVD review of the 2009 film Dragon Ball Evolution. Not only am I going to talk about the plot and characters, but I'm also going to talk about the special features featured on this DVD. DVD, of course, I first saw Dragon Ball Evolution shortly after it released in 2009, and the film completely exceeded my expectations. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. And I was one of the first people to buy it on DVD when it was released in July later of the year. And I don't know how many times I've seen this film. I've watched this film so many times on DVD and finally on the computer. There's also a leaked version on my Super Vader 400. A review of the leaked version on my Super Vader 400 account. I've also seen it on television, which was pretty cool too. Watching it on the internet and watching it on television, in my opinion, is actually a better experience than the theaters and finally the DVD. But this is one of my all-time favorite films, and in my opinion, one of the best films of all time. And I am proud today to still own a copy. Let's talk first. Let's talk about the plotting characters, man. The plotting characters. Like I said, going back to, I've been waiting since 2002 for this film. When it was announced that 20th Century Fox had acquired the rights to make a live-action Dragon Ball Z film, and for 4 years, and for years and years, I waited. 4 years later, in 2006, I gave up because I figured all I was seeing was rumors and fake and false trailers. In 2000, then finally, somewhere in late 2007, early 2008, I think it was late 2007, finally announced that Dragon Ball Evolution, that Dragon Ball Evolution, that the Dragon Ball live action film Fox was happening. The live action Dragon Ball movie was happening. Was happening, and then I remember my excitement turned to disappointment when I learned that it was a Dragon Ball film and not a Dragon Ball Z film. Then my disappointment increased even more when I saw the cast members. I saw all of these people at Goku's high school, all of these original characters made for the film. This never happened, but there was even the singer Mario was rumored to have a part somewhere in this film. But I remember seeing um cast for all these original characters in the film, but seeing nothing for characters such as Tien Chaozu and Krillin. I was immediately disappointment. My disappointment turned to excitement when I saw the leaked shots of the characters Goku, Roshi, Roshi, Chi Chi, and finally um Bulma. I didn't see Yamcha until I finally saw the movie, until I saw the second trailer, but I didn't recognize him till I saw the film. Till I saw the film. And so I was like, well, at least the film looks good. At least the movie looks good. It's something to look at. It at least looks entertaining to watch. So while everything else about the film probably wouldn't be good, that was. Oh yes, and speaking of stuff that was not good, one of my favorite things about Dragon Ball Evolution, back when I heard that Goku was gonna be in high school, and I thought that was the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. That was the dumbest and stupidest thing I've ever heard. Goku, of course, in high school with bullies. See that made it even worse. Goku in high school with bullies. I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's something I just had to see, man. And it turns out when I saw the film, so what I thought was going to be one of the dumbest and worst things about the live action Dragon Ball film turned out to be the best. In my opinion, Goku being in high school is better than the entire first half of Dragon Ball. Goku being in high school is better than the entire first half of Dragon Ball. Actually, tell you the truth, I would even go as far as say better than the entire series, man. Better than the entire series. But at that time, while I was a Dragon Ball hater at that time, I wasn't the Dragon Ball hater I am now, where it's like you don't like anything. At that time, you hated Dragon Ball, but you still had some biasness towards Z or the final sagas of Dragon Ball, pretty much the Tien and Piccolos. Now today you don't like any form of Dragon Ball made by Akira Toriyama. Made by Akira Toriyama. Um, but at this time I was still biased, so Dragon Ball Evolution already after when I was seeing the high school part, it was already better than the entire first half of Dragon Ball. Now it's my opinion, it's better than the entire series. Better than the entire series. Yeah. Then of course next is so yes, and then what's his name? And then from beginning to end, the film was great. From the opening narration with Gohan telling of how Piccolo and Ozaru almost destroyed Earth 1,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and how a group of men conjured up the Mafuba and sealed him away, and how Ozaru disappear to cut into the present day with Goku on the trapeze wire. Gohan, they duke it out in an awesome sparring match to start the movie. Let's go before I get to the sparring match. Go back to Goku. The sweat. I love Goku's introduction. He had the badass Superman music playing in the background. The sweat and stuff coming down. Then of course, here comes Grandpa Gohan. Prepare to eat dirt. He jumps on there. An awesome sparring match. Awesome fun sparring match to start the movie, man. Starting the movie. Goku immediately charges. Grandpa Gohan blocks his strikes with his stick. Then Goku tries to go for a sweep. Grandpa Gohan hits a 360, hits a 360 there. Then they go on the bottom. Goku tries again. Gohan again blocks what's his name. Then Goku does a corkscrew drop kick and a corkscrew bicycle kick and drop kicks Grandpa Gohan's staff out of his hands. Then Goku, he, in a hilarious moment, he smacks a fly into his mouth. Then he charges Goku charges with the flying kick and Grandpa Gohan knocks him down with his ki, and throws him into some watermelon egg. I don't remember what he threw him into. But man, I couldn't believe it. Then Grandpa Gohan explains ki to him, tells him to try out his ki. Goku tries out his ki, gets nothing, and Goku develops his characters more, talking about his brutal life at school. Then of course, Grandpa Gohan gives him the Dragon Ball after giving him some words of encouragement. Gives him the ball, and then of course, Goku rides to school and gets run over by the bullies. A gun carry and a Gundus gets his bike run over by the bullies. Carry and a Gundus. Then I love this scene, and this was the scene right here. What's his name? And so, see, at first I scoffed at the fact of Goku being in high school. I thought it was really stupid. But then when I saw it here, oh, he can fight back. He can kick their butts. But he promised his Grandpa Gohan he couldn't fight. And I love this right here. It was completely realistic. And it was completely how real Goku would be in high school, and it's still enjoyable today. The Man of Steel, the DC Extended Universe, Superman and Batman, they've done the same thing. They showed you in Man of Steel and in Batman v Superman, which are pretty much the Dragon Ball Z portion of this movie right here, they showed you how they showed you a realistic Superman with no Fortress of Solitude, and how he will be viewed in a real life world. Well, Goku in this film was a similar way. Goku, while still living in the woods, this Goku goes to school. He frequently migrates to the city. He frequently migrates to the city. At school, all he really does is fight. All he really does is fight. It's not really book smart, as one scene suggests. It's not really book smart, as one scene suggests. People in real life are that harsh. If you're just a guy who plays sports and or a guy just who fights, people are just gonna think you're just some kind of dumbass jock. They're gonna think you're some dumbass jock. They're gonna be harsh. If you fight and do all this stuff, people wouldn't like you. If you have these powers, you have these powers. People wouldn't like you. They wouldn't ooh and ah like they do when they see these characters at the Tenchi Kai Budokai tournaments in the television series, in the original series, and that right there I liked. And then of course um when love what they did with Goku. Then later on the love the chemistry between the actors. Come to think of it, this is already one of my biggest problems. I was going to talk about all the positives first, but let's get to the negatives right now. And one negative is that there isn't like more scenes with these actors like talking. There's a couple of as one of the special features. There's a couple of deleted scenes. Some of those deleted scenes should have been edited into a director's cut of this movie. As much as I love this movie right here, they produced a very lackluster DVDs. There's several other movies that are probably like worse than this that had like way better DVDs already. The DVD for this really wasn't all that good. The DVD for this really wasn't all that good. That's already the negative. There isn't like a director's cut of this movie with all the stuff they cut out, inserted into the movie. That's like my only problem really with this film. But continuing from where I left off, then of course he goes to Chi Chi's party. And I love this scene right here. Which is pretty much taken from the 2002 Spider-Man movie. This is also vastly similar to the Karate Kid fight where Daniel LaRusso um fought Johnny Lawrence at a party, except Goku won. But here's how it was different. Besides the fact that Goku won, that's how it's different from the Karate Kid, and it's different from the 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man is because Peter Parker blocked and evaded all of Flash's punches. Then he knocked him out with a punch of his own. Goku pretty much dodged and danced dodged and blocked and danced all over these guys and beat each of them up without even laying a punch on each of them. It even made Carrie and Augustus smash up Carrie's car without even touching it. Touching it. That was an awesome scene. He beat up how many people were there? There was Yeah, he beat up about 5 or 6 people without even touching them. Then I love the extras, love the realism. They were shocked. Weak ass Goku doing that. Let's compare this to another comic book movie, a terrible comic book film, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, when there's a bat at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, first off you have a little boy dressed up as Spider-Man, ready to fight the Rhino, ready to fight the Rhino. You got all these people here cheering like this is some pro wrestling UFC match, something like that, something like that. Instead of like getting away, you have all these people. Same with the Electro fight scene earlier. Love how DBE was realistic with this, where the people in shock are in shock of the sheer strength and agility of Goku. Little weak ass Goku wasn't doing all that stuff. And then I love the bully. So going into the film, remember hating that these guys were in the film, but these guys were awesome. They were perfect foils to Goku, and they served their purpose by providing Goku with a lesser, weaker opponent before Goku fought the main boss himself, Piccolo. I love their role. I love their role in the film, and I love how they were the antithesis to Goku. You see Justin Chatwin. Justin Chatwin was pretty much the original hipster. He was pretty much that before it was cool. Dragon Ball Evolution came out in 2009, but you can tell by the look of the film that the look of the film is 2007 and 8 when this is when Big Pants were still in style. This is when Big Pants extra large clothes were in style, and you see the bullies wearing extra large clothes, and you see Justin Chatwin wearing skinny clothes. Then you see the bullies, with the exception of that Asian guy, all of them are big and kind of strong, whereas Chatwin is kind of scrawny. In comparison. So I like how you actually see one of the reasons why they will be bullying Chatwin. He looks feminine looking. It doesn't look like he can kick somebody's butt. And then he has ridiculous hair. Yeah, he has ridiculous hair. He has ridiculous hair. All those guys have normal low cut hair, with the exception of that Asian guy, Seki. I think that's his name, Seki, the Asian guy. With the exception of the Asian guy, all of these, and even that guy's hair is more realistic than Goku's hair. It's more realistic and less goofy than Goku's hair. So you can see why they would be picking on him. They would be picking on him. Yeah, it would have been cool for like if they would like stayed at the high school even longer. But this is not a Twilight film. This is a Dragon Ball Evolution film. This is a Dragon Ball film. So you gotta quickly get Goku out there looking for those Dragon Balls. And then here comes the next scene where Piccolo where Piccolo comes to Grandpa Gohan's house looking for the Dragon Ball Goku just left with in a scene reminiscent of Star Wars. The episode 4, New Hope. Goku leaves to desert. Goku leaves his grandpa to go to a party, which allows the bad guy to come. But this turns out to be a blessing in disguise, because if Goku had been there, well, he would have probably been kidnapped. And had the Dragon Ball stolen, and Piccolo would have been one step closer to his goal of world domination. And then of course it was announced that Piccolo comes there. Comes there first. Mai tries it. She throws some shuriken at Gohan. Gohan easily blocks him with his staff. Then Piccolo comes in. The music and just the scene, just James Masters was awesome as Piccolo, and Piccolo with the force push or Magneto's magnetism move immediately disables Gohan. Immediately disables Grandpa Gohan. Drops a house on him, man. Drops a house on him, man. Seeing this in live action, the death of Grandpa Gohan, seeing it in live action, man, still awesome to this day, man. Still awesome to this day. And then of course, Goku goes back there. Grandpa Gohan tells him to find Master Roshi and Paozu. Find Master Roshi and Paozu after Goku mourns the death of Grandpa Gohan, buries him. He then runs into Bulma. This is where Bulma makes her entry into the scene. Makes her entry into the movie. Like I said, I loved Dragon Ball Evolution's plot more. In the original series, the entire Dragon Ball saga, the entire Dragon Ball series started because Bulma made a Dragon Ball because Bulma made a Dragon Ball radar, and she happened to find she happened to find Goku, who had one of the Dragon Balls. Goku, of course, accuses her of witchcraft because he's not familiar with the technology. Bulma shoots him. Goku somehow survives being shot in the head. Survives being shot in the head, and Bulma pretty much convinces Goku to go on a quest. Pretty much cons Goku into going on a quest to find the 7 Dragon Balls, even though Goku made it clear that he wasn't giving up his Dragon Ball. Goku, not knowing he will have to give up his Dragon Ball to summon the Eternal Dragon. So Bulma can wish for her incredibly lame and selfish wish of a boyfriend. So the entire Dragon Ball saga started because some woman made a Dragon Ball radar, made a Dragon Ball locator, and pretty much conned a boy into conned a naive little boy going on a quest to look for some Dragon Balls. Then the problem I hated was after seeing DBE, the part I hated was Bulma didn't even know, Goku didn't even know what Dragon Balls were. The main character of Dragon Ball, the Dragon Kid, which is what the Dragon Kid or Dragon Boy, which is what the prototype of Goku was. Before Toriyama rewrote this Dragon Ball, it was called Dragon Boy. It was about a Goku-like character named Tantan, something like that. But the main character doesn't know, but an everyday person like Bulma knows. Then a scientist like Bulma believes in the existence of magical balls. Science, the antithesis, the opposite, the antithesis of magic, the antithesis and opposite of science. One is real, one is not. So a scientist immediately believes in magic, believes in 7 magical balls and eternal dragon granting wishes. But the main character, people like Goku, Tien Shinhan later in the series didn't know either. People like these people, Tien Shinhan, and even Krillin, monk, pretty much these guys were like almost monks, people who live on the outside of society. These guys only people who should know about Dragon Balls do not know, but everyday people like Bulma do, and a bandit like Yamcha knows what they are too. Like I said, I'm not accepting that, man. Not accepting that. Not accepting that. So I'm glad in Dragon Ball Evolution they changed that around. It is Goku who tells Bulma about the Dragon Balls and the 7 wishes. Bulma only suspected that there were more Dragon Balls. She didn't know about the 7 balls. You gather them together and a dragon comes out and grants away. She didn't know that. She was doing what a scientist usually. She was researching her balls and wanted to use the Dragon Balls for an unlimited source of power to become to become um to become famous, to become famous. So love Bulma. Just love the whole redesign of Bulma, while still pretty much really being the same as she was in the cartoon. They got rid of all the negative aspects of Bulma's personality. The While she's still arrogant and annoying like she was in the series, they made her less needy, which I didn't like. I didn't like how needy, I didn't like how useless, weak, and needy Bulma was. Here, she's tough, strong, and more independent, more independent. They got rid of all the negative aspects of Bulma's character, the sexism and all that stuff. And my opinion, improved her character, made her like much better. It improved all the characters in this film. When I watch Dragon Ball now, with the exception of a couple of characters like Piccolo, the androids, Trunk, the future Trunks, and and um, and Bulma and pretty much Vegeta, none of the characters have personalities. And Bulma and Vegeta, in the beginning, have like no redeemable qualities, no redeemable qualities. So that they would be the best worst characters. They have more personalities than all the other characters, but they have, unlike all the other characters, they have nothing redeemable about either one of them. Vegeta is not a good character up until about Super, up until about Battle of Gods, and Bulma, Battle of Gods, and of course DBGT. Bulma probably the same, because in Bulma, well, I think she sucks in Super and in Battle of Gods. She's a much better character in GT, and I guess she was an okay character in the future version of Bulma, because everyone is dead, and that's a post-apocalyptic world, so she's not as annoying. She's not she's not some stereotypical bratty teenage girl um like she was in the original. So yeah, like I said, they improved all their characters. Master Roshi, man. Then of course yeah, they go on they go on I love this part. Bulma, just like in the series, Bulma throws her capsule corp, it transforms into a bike, and reacts with amazement. Goku reacts with amazement. I love how Goku, despite the fact that this is still a like what modernized Goku, this Goku goes to school, frequently goes to the city, and frequently knows how to use technology, is still unfamiliar with futuristic technology with Bulma. Capsules, what Bulma just introduced. I love that right there. Still retaining something while being completely different than the original series, still retaining some elements of the original series. Goes with Bulma on a quest to find Master Roshi, to find Master Roshi, and to find Master Roshi. Bulma goes on a quest to find Master Roshi. And I love the humorous chemistry and the humorous back and forth exchanges between Bulma and Goku. When Bulma breaks into Goku's house, when Bulma breaks into Roshi's house, Goku's like, "You can't break into somebody's house. You can't break into somebody's house. We're not breaking in. Doors unlocked. Okay, this girl's out of control." Love that. Then earlier when Goku is eating a chicken while Bulma's looking in the registry for every spelling of Roshi, Goku's eating a chicken, and Goku's sarcastic was like, "I've tried every spelling for Master Roshi. M-A." Then Bulma says it. I love the humorous exchanges between the characters, and that's actually true if you watch the earlier seasons of Dragon Ball and read the earlier story arcs of Dragon Ball. It's actually true to the series. I always wonder why I've always defended Justin Chatwin's portrayal of Goku. I always wonder why he was such a sarcastic asshole in these movies. Why he was so damn cynical and sarcastic, and that's Goku in the series. Goku in the series. I'm surprised how spot on Chatwin. That's Goku in the manga. The English version has pretty much changed his personalities. The English adaptations changed his personalities. Ocean sort of got it right, but they watered him down. They watered him down. They watered him down, and Funimation got him completely wrong. Funimation made him the Superman, He-Man, and Lion-O of Dragon Ball Z. When he's like he's vastly similar to characters like Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto Uzumaki from Naruto, and Bleach, all yelling, cursing, swearing, and sarcastic and arrogant and kind of an asshole. Kind of an asshole. I was wondering why he was acting that way. He was acting that way. He was acting that way. It was Funimation who got his personality wrong. So I'm surprised how spot on with the character. Not only being spot on with the character, the only difference was in this film, unless he has an incentive, he doesn't like fighting. Unless he has an incentive. But this is like this whole film was pretty much a journey for his character, where he will become the namesake character from the series, the stereotypical American cliche. Yeah. Then we get to Master Roshi of Paozu. Then we finally get to Master Roshi, realistic Master Roshi. I love how this Roshi is much younger, Instead of having a 300 something year old man, this Roshi is much younger. I also like how this Roshi, while still hinting that he's a pervert, I love how they made this Roshi more honorable. One thing I did not like about Roshi in the original Dragon Ball, series, one thing I did not like about the original Roshi in the original Dragon Ball series, I did not like it how he was uh, um how he wore his perversion, how he wore it like a badge, how he was proud to be a pervert. I'm not having and the how he's constantly trying to touch women, and how it's pretty much see, you got people watching Dragon Ball, and also kids watching Dragon Ball, they see that. So in this series, you're saying it's okay to touch women. I hate how he walks around touching women with no shame too, with no shame. Yet they try to convince us that he's a wise and honorable martial arts master. Yet he's going around touching people with no shame. I can see his Ernstein doing it, but no shame, no shame, no shame. Now, if you had the younger characters like Goku and Yamcha doing that, yeah, but not an old man. I'm not having that. So I'm finally glad that while he's still a pervert, he's over the top, eccentric and stuff. Yeah, he's more honorable. I like Chow Yun-Fat's portrayal of Roshi better. I love both of the live action adaptations of Roshi. I keep forgetting the Asian guy in the other Dragon Ball live action film, The Magic Begins, which I'm going to talk about, which I'm going to do a in-depth review much later on today on this channel, talking about that movie. And of course, you got Chow. Then you got Then of course you got yeah. Then of course I love the training sequence. I love the training sequence. Goku, he takes a giant lug on his back and runs across the desert with it on his back. They show it in montage form, but look how far he ran. Then of course, after he stops at the site where Chi-Chi is training, Chi-Chi is where she has a hilarious sparring match with that guy in the colorful gi, and knocks him off the cliff, kicks him off the cliff. Roshi says they can't train there. And Roshi says they can't train there because his ki is shriveling up or something. Roshi goes to they go to their next destination, and Goku, while Bulma is driving, Goku's doing a headstand trying to use his ki to balance an egg. And then of course it bursts and goes all over Roshi's face. Roshi has the shades and a small goatee, just like his manga counterpart. Like I said, I love how they modernize these films. They throw in all these little short Easter eggs for people who actually like the series. For people who actually liked the original series. I for one really don't care, but when I see all this, I actually makes me appreciate the film even more than I already do. Next is oh yes, then they fall in the desert set up by Yamcha. Yamcha, and like I said earlier, I saw Yamcha for the first time in the second trailer, the Japanese trailer, which showed him driving the was showing him flying the jeep that transformed into a spacecraft, an airplane, a space car or something like that, and they flew to the final battle. They flew to the Dragon Temple where Piccolo was, where Piccolo and Mai were. But I didn't recognize him. When I saw the setting, I immediately figured out that it was Yamcha. Then I love June Park's portrayal of Yamcha. He sounds just like the Funimation dub of Yamcha. When I heard him talk, because unlike the other characters, he didn't sound realistic. He sounded completely cartoonish, man. Unlike the other characters, he sounded completely cartoonish. And Bulma, characters like Bulma and Roshi were over the top. He was more over the top and sounded even more cartoonish than they did. Than they did, and than they did, and I didn't think he could speak English. I didn't think June Park could speak English. I thought they got the guy from whoever voiced Yamcha in the Funimation dub. I thought they got him to do that here. I was blown away with that guy's voice. It didn't sound real, man. But it turns out it was real. He's Korean, and June Park's Korean. He's a singer there, and he can sing English. And he actually made his American acting debut in the film Speed Racer. Speed Racer. Speed Racer, and he brought more humor. He brought more humor to the film. He brought more humor to him. I loved his character. He was pretty much the anti-hero of the group. He's only with them. He's only with them to First off, he only kidnapped them to uh. He only kidnapped them to get to sell their stuff to like the highest bidder. Then Roshi levitates out of the what levitates out after telling them about Piccolo and Ozaru, levitates out of the hole, and Roshi, and it is here where Roshi convinces Yamcha to join him, that if he joins him he will make more money than everyone else, and Yamcha wants 50%. Yamcha wants some of the profits from Bulma's invention. Wants some of the profits from Bulma's invention. So he's pretty much only in it for like the money. But towards the end of the film, you see him getting closer to Bulma, getting closer to Bulma, and is slowly redeeming himself. Then at the end of the film, pretty much nearly sacrifices his life to save Bulma when Goku transforms into the Ozaru. And he allows Bulma. He gives Bulma the Dragon Ball and tells her to run, and tries to stay and fight the Ozaru himself, and gets knocked out by Goku. Gets knocked unconscious by Goku. Then of course saves Bulma later after she's about to be killed by Mai. Then of course yeah, so like I said, I love Yamcha's character in this film. Only thing I hated, since this was like a realistic Yamcha, uh he didn't get to fight much. That's probably the only thing I like better about Yamcha in the series. They gave that Yamcha got to have more fights, like his awesome fight with bandages, the mummy. But I love Yamcha much better here than I did. I like Yamcha's characterization much better here than I did in the series. Than I do in the series. Um. So yeah. Then of course um. Oh yeah, the Fulham Warriors. Piccolo's deformed, which are pretty much a tribute to, which are pretty much, this is pretty much their adaptation of Piccolo's deformed Namekian sons, the Fulham Wars. These guys were awesome, man. I wish their only purpose in this film was to pretty much to slow the Z fighters down, but I wish they show, instead of growling and grunting, I wish they would have instead of roaring, growling and grunting, I wish they would have especially since you had, I saw in the gag reel, especially since you had people in costumes, since those are people in costumes, I wish they would have spoke. I wish they would have spoke more. I wish they would have spoke more and had personalities, kind of like the Namekian sons did, the deformed Namekian sons did in the King Piccolo saga. I also love this scene because this scene was a tribute to another 20th Century Fox film, the 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. The when Ooze's Ooze Patrol, his Ooze Patrol, that he summons to fight the Power Rangers, summons to fight the Power Rangers. And I love how Goku defeated him. Roshi hit one with the stick, then hit another one with a ki blast. Ki blast. Bulma tried shooting one with a bullet. Bullet bounced off his head, so Roshi told both of them to run. Then Goku ripped off one of the antennas, one of the spikes from the monster, and used it like a sword. Used it like a sword, then sliced them up and through a bridge so he can get across the lava and obtain the Dragon Ball. And here he sees a vision of the Earth being destroyed, and he sees the Ozaru killing Piccolo and Ozaru killing everyone. And Roshi says, and it is here where they hint that Goku is, of course, Ozaru, Ozaru, Ozaru. Then, of course, Roshi says the only chance they have now to stop Piccolo is in Toy-San. Roshi um Roshi Roshi meets up with his old Sensei Norris, portrayed by Ernie Hudson. Sifu Norris, portrayed by Ernie Hudson, and he requests Mafuba. He requests a Mafuba be made. Meanwhile, Goku runs into Chi-Chi. Goku runs into Chi-Chi, who is competing in the Toy-San tournament. I love the Toy-San tournament. The Toy-San tournament was like a the Toy-San tournament reminded me of the real life martial arts tournament, the real life martial arts tournaments, the legendary MMA organization, the Pride Fighting Championships, and of course the various K1 kickboxing tournaments. It also reminded me of the 1995 martial arts film Super Fights, which blended professional wrestling and realistic looking martial arts together. It was awesome. That this is their version of the Tenchikai Budokai, the Toy-San tournament. Their version of the Tenchikai Budokai, in my opinion, was much better. It was much better. It was much better than that. So Mai fights Chi-Chi, but she only fights her to scratch her and obtain some of her blood samples so she can shapeshift into use Chi-Chi's DNA to shapeshift into Chi-Chi. They didn't explain that in the film, but you can kind of obviously see during the tournament. She was only there to cut Chi-Chi. What's his name? Because Piccolo knew that when Mai told Piccolo that Roshi's training the boy, and she said she could disrupt him, Piccolo said, no, let's take more than a couple of disruptions. That's when in a badass scene he created the Fulham Warriors. And then Mai, another cool scene, after Goku was done defeating the Fulham Warriors, Mai herself, love what they done with the Mai character. Tell you the truth, Mai was one of the other things I didn't like going into this film. Okay, if Mai's around, then that means Pilaf is not too far around. Oh no, in this film there is no Pilaf. Ma is a servant of Piccolo, and then personality is completely changed for the live action version. Silly, Instead of this comedy relief failure she is in the series, in this movie right here, she's a deadly assassin, man. She's a she's a deadly assassin. So love what they did with Mai in the film. To tell you the truth, really didn't care much for Mai, but Mariko Tamira, awesome job as mine. I loved how she was ninja like when she tried to fight Goku. When she tried to fight Goku easily blocked her moves. Then she punches Goku in the jaw. It's just like if you were to punch Goku for real. She punched like that, no effect. Goku just gives her a gentle, weak looking tap that sends her flying. Then when Roshi is explaining what they must go next, you see her up there like a ninja up there on the ceiling waiting, and that's how she knew to target Chi-Chi at the tournament. Then of course Roshi teaches Goku more about Ki. Earlier Goku, all he could do was a little what was that technique called? Crouching eagle strike, something like that. The key move he tried to use on Roshi when he fought Roshi earlier and accidentally hit Bulma with. That's all he could do. He couldn't do much with his ki. Roshi teaches him how to take his ki and form it into a ball of energy. So he can learn Roshi's signature attack, the Kamehameha wave. You don't know how. Okay, it was a theater, you can't talk, but oh man, I was going crazy. My chair, seeing all this stuff come to life, man. Finally, the namesake move from the series. Finally, seeing all this stuff appear in the film. Then of course, love the struggle. This scene kind of, I don't think it was intentional, but this scene right here reminds me of Naruto. In this series, Goku immediately got the move in one shot. Now, I never liked that, but he's a Saiyan. I never liked that. I liked how here, that's a ball of energy. That should be much harder to do. That should be much tougher to do. I love how he struggled twice. Then he immediately considered cheating. He considered cheating and and then Chi came there, reprimanded him, and forced him to do it the right way by saying that if you do this, you get to take one step closer to me. You get to take one step closer to me, playing on Goku's incentive, because this Goku is different. And to tell you, this is actually the only part time they actually, as much as I love to argue with people with this, only time they deviate from the Goku's personality. Goku would probably be happy to train. Goku would be happy to train and do this until he got it right. He would never cheat. This is more Naruto. This is more something you see a shinobi, something Naruto would try to cheat for his training, but you see he had to do it because if he didn't learn his ki, he would have been vaporized and easily killed by Piccolo later. And that's if he managed to gain control of the Ozaru. So he had to learn his ki training. It was imperative that he learned his ki training, and then. But I loved how how he struggled. Like I said, I love the journey with this Goku. Like another problem I've always had with the original Dragon Ball series. They have these characters with these amazing powers, but there's little to no explanation how they have them. You have characters like Yamcha and Krillin immediately knowing how to do a Kamehameha wave. Both these guys barely know how to fight, yet they can do a Kamehameha wave. Then by the end of the series, Yamcha can do a new badass move called the Spirit Ball. Then Krillin and Z can create a sharp disc of energy, Destructo Disc. And see, they have powers like that. They don't explain you how they obtain that powers. Goku later has Super Saiyan 3. Don't tell you how you get there. Especially, I hate the fact that he can obtain Super Saiyan 3, but a character like Vegeta on Earth, Goku in Spirit World, Goku in Other World, can obtain a Super Saiyan 3 form of Vegeta who's alive and trains just as hard can. And they never tell you why. They never really tell you why. And there's a lot of BS like that. So love how they love the realism. Love how they show them training. They show Goku. They show him training with the key. It's a journey. It's a journey. And the actor Justin Chatwin, the characters in this film, the actors in real life went on a journey. Went on a journey learning the moves of these characters, just like the characters in the actors, in order to portray their characters, went on their own journey, went on their own training. Whereas, just like the characters in the film went on a journey. And I love that. What's his name? Next is then after it's done, Yamcha and Yamcha Yamcha and Bulma immediately see Goku going into Chi-Chi's room. Then when the Goku comes and he says, "You guys are still up," and then Yamcha's like, "Once you're in your room," then they notice Chi-Chi has the Dragon Ball. They know it's mine. She has the Dragon Ball. And this was one of the more iconic scenes from the film where Mai transforms back to normal, but is still wearing Chi-Chi's what's his name, and then she jumps off the building. And then of course she shoots the fire. She shoots the fire. Then of course Chi-Chi finds her. Finds her. Who the hell are you? Then they both begin fighting. And the original Chi-Chi wins. Then the original Chi-Chi wins. Goku hits a front flip over through the flames, attacks the wrong Chi-Chi and knocks out Chi-Chi, forcing Mai in a hilariously badass moment. Mai shoots Goku with the gun, shoots Goku in the head with the gun. Goku's like, "Oh, blast," and he flips in the air. And is all knocked unconscious. Then Roshi brings him back to life. Brings him back to life before Goku could die and slip into the other world. Roshi brings him back to life with the Kamehameha, wave. Kame. And puts the energy through him. Puts the energy through him. Now puts the energy through him. I thought that's never been in the series. That's once again something more. I don't think they intentionally ripped off Naruto, but that's more Naruto putting your life force into someone, like that. Um, love that. Then of course, going to then of course then of course, oh yes, where the film really gets good. If it already wasn't good, where it really gets good. Final battle with Piccolo, and on the way there, Goku, like I said, throughout the film it's a journey for him. First he starts off in street clothes. Then when he gets to the Toisan Temple, he gets a modernized version of his blue gi from the earlier sagas of from the first saga of Dragon Ball, Then of course, earlier in the film, he takes the gi Grandpa Gohan gave him. He takes that with him, and then during the final battle, he puts on the boots and the orange part of his gi, and finally completes the transformation. His hair changes throughout the film too. And finally, Son Goku officially enters the picture, and then before that, they're flying to the what's his name. Roshi tries to disrupt Piccolo. Roshi puts out an energy beam. Piccolo puts out one, shoots it. blasts the what's his name. Then, like I said, Goku emerges from the finally. Goku enters the scene, emerges from the rubble. Piccolo, badass jumps onto one pillar. Goku climbs up to another, and finally, Goku and Piccolo face to face, where Goku says, I am here to defeat Ozaru and destroy you. And then Piccolo is like, defeat Ozaru, Goku. When the blood re-eclipses the moon, you will become Ozaru. There's no denying who you are. Goku's time is now. Then Goku, just like the Incredible Hulk, no, 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 no. And then 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 transforms into the Goku transforms into the Ozaru, and people. Not only was Piccolo's epic speech awesome, but the Goku transformation was awesome because the leak shot showed some demonic looking fish, demonic looking Tokusatsu Power Ranger fish type monster. That's what the leak shot showed. Yeah, the actor portrayed him Iron White in some weird monster makeup, with red eyes. So that's what I was expecting. But no, they received so much negative reception for that they put something similar to the Ozaru from the series. They put something similar to the Ozaru. They put something so it was cool. He transformed into the monkey. I was expecting one thing but got another. I love how they snuck in the Ozaru in that scene, and scene was awesome. I mentioned the scene where Piccolo was like, they have a Dragon Ball, bring it to me, bring it to me. Chases after Bulma and Yamcha, knocks out Yamcha. Roshi grabs Goku by the leg. Roshi grabs Goku by the leg. Roshi grabs Goku by the leg. The Ozaru strangles him, but before Roshi dies, before that, Roshi tries to use the canister to summon the Mafuba summon the Mafuba. Love this scene. Before he can do that, Piccolo tries another ki blast, but Roshi immediately captures him and nearly has him. But Piccolo managed to regain control and fire another ki blast and destroys the Mafuba. And Roshi is now near death. But before he dies, he grabs Ozaru. Ozaru strangles Roshi. Roshi tells Goku to Ozaru, he can't be defeated with fists. Only with faith can he survive. And Goku immediately regains control, and Goku engages Piccolo in the final battle. And Mai jumps Bulma, and they engage in their own final battle. And Bulma has a shootout. Bulma has a shootout with Mai after she's done with all of her bullets. Mai tells her to give her the Dragon Ball. Bulma pretends to give her the Dragon Ball instead, and this proves that Emi Rosin was Bulma. She intelligently throws the glider at Mai. Mai ducks. Then Bulma tries to fight her. Mai knocks her out. Yamcha comes from behind. Mai still knocks her out with two strikes, and Yamcha comes from behind and shoots Mai in the back. Earlier in the film, Piccolo and Goku have an exchange of ki. And I love the way they fire ki. Love the way they fire ki. You got Piccolo obviously being more experienced with it, firing multiple ki blasts, and as Goku firing back, but Goku running at the same time and dodging, including one scene where he hit a somersault, then fired another ki blast, then fired another one, then Roshi fired one, and Goku jumps behind the wall. Then remember it cut to the fight with Bulma. Then it cuts back to them where they both charge, where they both charge each other, where they both charge each other and collide and start bombarding each other with punches and both knock each other through the what's his name with the auras and stuff, knock each other to the wall. Then you see Piccolo, shock. You see love the body language. Not only were these guys great actors, but the body language, the facial expressions, the sell what was going on, the sell what was going on, the sell what was going on. Then of course the sell what was going on. Then of course both of them, right? Piccolo prepares to finish Goku off. He takes all of his energy and puts it into one giant blast. And then Goku, first, he acknowledges that he is Ozaru. Then he powers up Ozaru style. Then he gathers his energy for the Kamehameha wave. He gathers then you see the aura around him. Then he takes the aura, forms it into a ball, then Piccolo throws it down. Goku jumps in the air, flies in the air, and knocks out Piccolo. Then Goku, Dragon, the test of 7 has been fulfilled. I now call forth for you to come grant my wish. This was probably another flaw I had from the film. The prayer. Goku, he learned it. They didn't show the scene where he learned it. He immediately knew what to say. The dragon comes out. This is probably the only thing I like better about the original series. They had a dragon. They had a better dragon. Dragon. But dragon comes out. Yeah, they had a little Western dragon. Would have preferred the one from the series. That's the one thing the series did have. They had better dragons. We had a cool Western dragon. The dragon didn't say much. He just came out and granted a wish. Roshi was alive. Brought Roshi back to life. Then Goku and Chi-Chi engage in a sparring match to see who is stronger. And then of course then it cuts to the credits, and then after the credits are over, you see Piccolo. Well, that was the entire film. Like I said, the film is just awesome. I don't know how many times I've seen it, but the DVD. I want to talk more about the. I want to talk more. We're going to talk more about the DVD, the special features. Like I said, probably the only thing I don't like about the film is that there's not like a director's cut of this movie with all the scenes. They had this movie has like 10 deleted scenes. One which shows which is an extra key scene which shows Goku training with his key, a funny scene with a snack bar, an extended conversation with Bulma where Goku makes fun of Bulma's name, and Bulma makes a pun, Promethium Energy Extractor, which the initials are P, and Goku says that's nasty. They probably edited that out because the whole dialogue was too childish. I wish they would have kept it in. That scene was hilarious, and once again, true to the series. That was true to the series. Wish they would have kept that scene in. Wish they would have kept the scene where Goku training with the key, and probably my favorite scene. Oh yeah, then of course an extended scene where Sifu Norris, where he calls Piccolo by his people, the Nameks. Piccolo is never referred to. Piccolo and Ozaru are never referred to as Nameks in this film, but he calls Piccolo's people he calls them Nameks. Then of course I mentioned the snack bar. Then of course the extended full-on fight scene. There's also a scene where Goku tries to impress Chi-Chi by lifting a car. Then of course lifting a car. Then of course, yeah. Then now those were all the. I wish they would have somehow incorporated those scenes into like a final version of the film. Then of course the other stuff they cut out, such as they cut most of Chatwin and Jim Monsters' final fight. Whenever I review Dragon Ball Evolution in narration form, you can see a scene where Piccolo is punching Goku and Goku is dodging. Goku is dodging. They cut most of their fight. Even James Monsters commented on how he was disappointed. They cut most of their fight. They cut most of their fight. Love the portrayal of the portrayal of their fight in this series, but I wanted more of that awesome fight. The key, the punches. I wanted more. I wanted more of that awesome fight, man. Just 5 more minutes of that awesome fight, man. That awesome fight. That awesome fight, man. But the fight scene being short actually made sense within the context of the film, though. Piccolo wanted to first he wanted to control Goku. He wanted to control Goku. When Goku broke control, Piccolo, if you notice, one thing I like about this series is realistic. If you want to kill someone, your first move is not going to be a punch or a kick. No, he wanted to after Goku regained control, he wanted to kill him. His first move was a ki blast. I love how they started off with ki first because they wanted to, they tried it because Piccolo wanted to kill Goku first. So first he shot ki at him. He shot ki at him. Then they charged for the hand-to-hand combat part. For the hand-to-hand combat part. Then when Piccolo, you see the shocked look on his face. Goku has matched his strength. Then Piccolo gets in the air and puts all his energy into one blast, preparing to obliterate Goku once and for all. Now Piccolo could have fought him more, but what is that going to accomplish? You're just going to bust each other's bodies up more. No, he wants to kill him. He wants to kill Goku, so he puts all his energy into one blast, shoots it at Goku. Goku first powers up Ozaru style, then summons gathers his ki, then turns his aura into a ball, then charges at Piccolo, and completely knocks him out, and completely knocks him out. So like I said, love the portrayal of their fight and listening, but I wish they could have fought just a little bit longer. But I love and understand what they were trying to do in this film. Um, Next is so yeah, I was mad they cut that out. I'm not too angry that they cut out Goku learning the prayer, but that would have been good, useful to keep in there. I also wish, I keep saying, they would have made this story accessible to non Dragon Ball people, because I understand what you're saying. I understand what they try to do. First off, they spent less money because of the protest. You don't want to spend too much money on this unless you're like gonna have like um the talking the anthropomorphs, unless you're gonna have stuff like that, and more stuff. You shouldn't spend too much money on. They spend about, I thought at first it was reported it was 100. Then it was reported it was 50. Then it was reported it was 45. Then NASB reported that it was in fact $30 million, which means this film actually made back his money, but that was not enough to warrant the sequel, which I wanted. So the film, and that showed right there, so there was an audience there. You just had to make it accessible to non-people. I can understand, yeah, Dragon Ball Z fans would hate it. Because it's different from what their series was. So do what Ninja Turtles did and make it accessible to new people, but have stuff but have stuff for the long time people. That's what Ninja Turtles did, and that was more successful. More successful. So Ninja Turtles 2014, that's what they did, and that was more successful, and promote the hell out of this film. I had people telling me they didn't know this film came out. They didn't know this film came out. I knew about it because I've been following this since 2002. But yeah, so yeah, not to make it accessible to what's his name, which critics, I actually understand their criticisms of the film. It's the Dragon Ball fans, and more mainly the Dragon Ball protest, and the creator himself I got a problem with. Creator, I don't have Toriyama, I don't have a problem with him not liking the film. Someone took my series and did it wrong, didn't do what I planned, I would be mad too. But for him to criticize the film, rip it apart, say it's terrible, and pretend like his series is good when his series was way worse, that angers me. I hate that guy. Pretentious, but I'll rant more about Toriyama on my Dougie 798 channel. Next is then of course yeah, then Oh yes, more stuff, and then love the gag reel. That was hilarious. They also show more of the making of the film in that gag reel and has several funny scenes. And I love the sets and the people in the costumes and stuff. Love the sets and just love the background sets in this film. They filmed most of this in Mexico, which I think is a perfect setting for a Dragon Ball film. For a film like Dragon Ball, Mexico and of course Asia are perfect settings for Dragon Ball. For Dragon Ball, so yeah, love the gag reel. Then I was disappointed the Mafuba dance, which was on the internet, wasn't included in this final release. Oh yes, then another scene that I thought was hilariously funny was the Goku workout scene. That was hilarious with the two guys practicing in front of the green screen, practicing in front of the green screen. Then of course, oh yes, a featurette making a scene which showed how they filmed the Chi Chi versus Chi Chi fight scene, what Jamie Chung's training for Chi Chi. Then Fox presents Life After Film School with Justin Chatwin talking about his life after film school, what he liked about the Dragon Ball property, him doing the Dragon Ball, his training, his preparation for the role and stuff. So yeah, it was good. It had everything, what's his name, except what I wanted. That was a commentary with James Wong explaining why he changed everything from what it was. I know why. I know why. He said why, but I would have loved the commentary from him explaining everything he did, every while he changed everything he did. I like being right. Why I like being right. But say I wish you would have put together a much better DVD. Great film, but lackluster DVD. But yeah. Long time, hour and 12 minutes. Here for a long time. Well, all right, this was my DVD review of Dragon Ball Evolution. All right, dug out. Still gonna do that video review someday. My CD drive is busted. That's why it hasn't come yet. But I'm still gonna do that someday. I'm done.